Hey there, folks. So I was going by another school, and I noticed it had this double barbed wire on the top of the fence. You know, it's got the barbed wire pointing outward, and it has the barbed wire pointing inward. And I just thought I'd take a moment and talk with you guys about this, because it's not put there by accident. You know, barbed wire, it costs money to put it up, and it takes some time to get it up there, and it's dangerous. So, you know, when you see barbed wire in place, it was very, very purposefully put there. They didn't accidentally put barbed wire near this school pointing outward and inward. So I've put out a few different videos about barbed wire, and especially inward facing barbed wire. When you use inward facing barbed wire, it's meant as a form of containment. Inward facing barbed wire is to keep people inside of a pen. And there's a very, very specific reason that barbed wire is put around schools inward facing like that. And it's hard to imagine a country that would do something like this to its people, but after a certain point, inward facing barbed wire will be used for the sake of containment of citizens. And, you know, when they put it around schools like this, you have to take into account the track record of government. And you have to take into account the history governments have of using public institutions to contain citizens. So, you know, not all schools have barbed wire around them. They only put barbed wire around certain schools. And those schools, they intend to use it, believe me when I say this, they intend to use it to contain citizens. They're not putting it up there to keep criminals out. They're not putting it up there to keep criminals in. They're putting it up there to contain citizens. And, you know, it doesn't make sense for them to put it up there for any other reason. It's the only logical reason that they would put barbed wire around a school is for containment. So, you know, there used to be a time when I felt like a real conspiracy-driven kind of whack job for saying this sort of thing. But in Trump's America, it's becoming evident that the federal government and state government, obviously, are willing to incarcerate citizens without real cause, without trial, without due process. And it's scary. You know, it scares me. It scares me to see barbed wire up around schools, because to me, what that says is that when they built this school, when they were laying out this property, they decided at some point in the future they might need to use this to contain people. And, you know, there's a lot of folks that still have this real deep trust in the government. And it's utterly misplaced. And, you know, when you see barbed wire around schools, it lets you know that they have every intention of using these institutions not just as centers of education. They intend to use these schools as centers for detainment. They put up barbed wire, inward facing barbed wire, because this parking lot right here, at some point in the future, they intend to use it to contain people. And, you know, I'm getting a little bit redundant at this point, but it's important to question this stuff. It's important to recognize it when you see it and understand what the use is for it, what the intended purpose is for it, and where it's at. This particular fenced-in parking lot happens to be near the Clackamas Town Center. And, you know, it used to just be a far-out conspiracy theory that these sorts of places would be used as detention centers. But let's be honest with each other. There's a time in the relative near future where our dystopian society will round up its citizens and put them inside of parking lots like this with barbed wire all around them to contain them. You know, you might not be one of the people who gets put into this facility. You might feel safe, like you don't have to worry about it. But for me, I'm concerned. I'm concerned when I see a school that has inward-facing barbed wire, because it costs money to put barbed wire up. And if you're pointing the barbed wire out, I understand that. You're trying to protect your property. But when you put inward-facing barbed wire up, it's for the sake of containment. So, with all that said, I'll let you guys go. I do appreciate you taking the time to tune in. You know, I have enabled super stickers, so if you find this information intriguing, if you find some benefit in it, please consider dropping a donation with one of those super stickers. I'll use that money and buy myself like a cup of coffee or something. But, you know, this is the sort of video that I put out. I put out videos about infrastructure that's used to contain citizens. I put out videos that talk about things that the media is not going to tell you about, inward-facing barbed wire around schools and why it's there. But, yeah, that's the kind of video I like to make. I like to make videos that show people where infrastructure is in place for mass roundups. That's why they have these barbed wire surrounded parking lots. It's for mass detention. Enormous deployments of troops to round people up and detain them. That's why they have barbed wire up like that. It's not for one or two people. It's for taking entire neighborhoods into custody and then letting them out slowly, one by one. You know, I wish I could go back to feeling like a far out conspiracy theorist about this, but now with ICE out there rounding people up, with housing and urban development talking about doing mass incarceration of homeless people, that's probably what they'll use these for. They'll probably go all around, round up the homeless, throw them inside of a parking lot like this, and not let them out. I wish that it wasn't a reality, but that's a reality that could be coming to us any day. It could be coming to us any day. It might already be here and we just aren't aware of it yet. But I'm telling you, when they put inward-facing barbed wire around a parking lot, that is 100% for containment. 100%. So anyway, with all that said, I'll let you guys go. Do appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day out there. I'll talk to you very soon.